Well, we're getting down to our last few minutes. Monica, I just thought I'd throw it out to you. Are there any last thoughts on recommendations for folks on how to tie content into your enterprise?
Well, you know, I try to never use the negative spin on things, but you know, over the course of my career, and the common thread among all of these conversations has been fear is an excellent motivator. Whether it's fear of a tornado, fear of the SEC, fear of litigation and ridiculous litigation response expenses. We had sprinklers go off in the building, and that brought to people's recognition having stuff out on your desk is a potential liability just from the water damage perspective. So, you know, I've been so busy ever since HIPAA. Just one regulation after another has gone into effect that has highly motivated an organization to change the way they do business. And so I think we're getting to the point now with the federal rules of civil procedure that was like another big one as well, and we'll see organizations finish responding to that. And then hopefully from then on, it just becomes about business enablement, doing things smarter, being more responsive, more customer-centric, and being able to find and keep really productive employees.
That's great. Any thoughts from the rest of you?
I mean, I generally try to stay away from the acronyms. You know, you say ERP, ECM, you know, they think, you know, USD, you know, or it's going to cost a lot of money. So they, you know, I try to stay away from that and really tie it as much to, you know, what the business value is. So, for example, in finance, you know, payables, it would be you can realign your business process so that an invoice is not sitting in somebody's desk. And at the end of the month, I know exactly what my expenses are because I'm scanning all those documents up front and running it through workflow. I know exactly where it is. So that's a tangible benefit. You know, they can report accurately, and when you're running things globally, definitely that kind of information is vital. Similarly, in regulatory compliance, if you can't retrieve those documents easily, then the amount of time you spend between consulting dollars as well as just investment of internal labor can be so much. So I think as long as you're able to quantify it, and you know, our company tends to be very analytical, so they like numbers. So we try to stay away from the acronyms as much as possible.
That's a good idea. Tom?
Yeah, I think I agree with Sigmund. The acronyms, that is a big part of it. I also think it's, you know, sometimes in the operations world or the technology world, we tend to think of what the technology value is. And we need to express things better than what business value is. So to the retail banking organization, this helps them to, you know, get accounts open quicker and more accurately, right? Well, what does that mean, right? Well, it means you can get an account open in hours instead of days when you have to send the paper around. It means that you don't have to put it in a FedEx envelope anymore and spend $8 to mail that or whatever it costs, right? So helping the businesses to understand the value that the content management and document management systems bring. I think that's probably the hardest part because I think that folks are so used to running things the way they always have that sometimes it's difficult to get them out of that world. But this truly eliminates, you know, our time obstacles. It eliminates, you know, location obstacles, geography obstacles, and it helps to drive greater business improvements.
Cindy, I'll give you the last word here.
All right, great. And I think you're right, business processes and showing people how it can really streamline how they do things. You gotta make it personal for them. So once we implemented imaging for our expense, for example, and they saw that getting their travel money back was happening in 3 or 4 days instead of 3 or 4 weeks, that's something, right? That's a real big benefit. And then also to the various admission directors around being able to process the students' transcripts and get them enrolled quicker and sooner and turn that around in a few days as opposed to a few weeks and get that recruit in and signed up for classes is another good thing. So we really need to make sure for whatever business process it is, they understand how it streamlines their business and doesn't take things away from them. They're not going to lose their job or anything. It's a matter of now they can do more, they can focus on higher value things. So, you know, academic evaluations alone, that used to take weeks. for everyone to mail the transcripts in from all over the United States and Europe to a simple office to understand how this course is going to go, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's all imaged, and it happens in days. And we can turn around to that student and now say, okay, this is what your transcript credit's going to look like. Now you can enroll in the university, and we can do it much quicker. It's a true competitive advantage for us. And again, we went from weeks to days with that, and a huge benefit to our bottom line, getting students in.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for taking the time to talk today, and thank you all for your time and attention to this.